Hi guys, Brain here, and welcome to a very eventful day for the world of Dead by Daylight. Man, there's been a lot of changes and a lot of anticipated things coming through. This video is going to be specifically focusing on all of the anniversary stream stuff that got released because, quite frankly, with the Vecna and all that new chapter stuff with the Dungeons and Dragons chapter, I have not spent enough time with that yet. I would like to spend more time with it before I just give you a very emotional opinion and not something that's actually a little bit more well-founded and more experienced. I'm just gonna be mostly focusing on the updates that have come through the anniversary stream because, well, that video would be like 40 minutes long if I tried to put them in the same one as well. So that's also another reason. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. I've been rambling too long. First off, we're going to be using Dweet's Twitter as a way to track this because going through the Twitch stream manually sounds like a nightmare. So we're just going to use their lovely Twitter, and you should follow them as well because they give a lot of excellent up-to-date DBD information as it comes out. So make sure you give them a follow. First off, we're going to be talking about cross progression because cross progression is finally here. It's something that Dead by Daylight Good Old Behavior announced a very long time ago, and it has been in production for so long that people think that it just outright wasn't coming to the game, and I can't blame anybody for thinking that because yeah, it hasn't come to the game in an incredibly long time, so we just kind of assumed it wasn't happening. Now, usually, this is just conjecture. I will throw that out there. This is just subjective conjecture. Historically, Sony and Nintendo are kind of the hardest companies to work with when it comes to cross progression. Just if you look at different examples throughout gaming history so far. So I'm imagine one or the two of those are probably why it was really hard to get this through. Lias has an excellent video on their channel, LIUSS, we've reacted to them before, talking about why cross progression's been held up and talks a little bit more about Sony's history with that sort of thing. So excellent creator and video to check out if you want to know more about that. But whoever was holding up, regardless, it seems to be finally going through. Most stuff is carrying over too, like skins and DLCs, and what seems to be being left behind is Auric cells, which that makes sense to me. But either way, it's coming. So if you have spread your progress in DBD across multiple consoles, like PC console, then you'll be able to cross progress now and finally be able to have all your stuff in one place, which is going to be really nice. Castlevania was announced as our next upcoming chapter after the update here with the Dungeons and Dragons chapter. Castlevania is pretty cool. If you have not played any of the games, if you've not seen the anime, it's pretty neat, it's pretty awesome, and finally we're going to be having a vampire kill, which is something that, regardless of license, people have been wanting in the game for a really long time. So kind of mashing the two together is a pretty cool idea, and I think this is going to pan out really well. The anniversary event is coming through again, and it's going to be the Twisted Masquerade once more. So they're sticking with that theme of the Twisted Masquerade. They seem to like this, so they're going to continue to run with this with all the unlockable content, that being Unknown and Bill, which is cool. And then we get all of these other masks as well. The twins ones looks really sick. But the main thing that I want to point out here that is actually one of the very few negatives to come out of this situation is that all event gameplay will be in a separate queue and not regular matches. I mean, I understand that a lot of people sweat during the event and it creates kind of unhappy situations, but I don't think shoving people in separate queue is the answer, because that's just gonna make queue times longer for everyone during your event, which does not sound like a bright idea. I don't know. I would like to just play the game normally and do the event stuff at the same time. I don't want to have to enter a separate queue just to do the event stuff, or vice versa. Like, yeah, this change is really weird, and it's not the only one I find kind of weird, but let's keep going. Another weird change that is coming through, to just follow straight up on this, is that the finisher Mori mechanic is coming back to the game. Yeah, that old thing that we did a long time ago with the base kit Unbreakable and the base kit Mori, that's coming to us in a very subtle way. This being that the suggestion that I made a lot was that we just only use the Cypress version of this, where, you know, if everybody's down, you can just Mori the last guy. That way it's not like something that really interrupts the main flow of gameplay, but gives us a chance to flourish with our Mori as a reward for getting a 4K. But they still found a way to make this very odd by making it to where Mori offerings will instead be turned into BP, which very heavily implies that we will not be able to use normal Moris. Being able to Mori somebody in the middle of the game seems to be going the way of the dodo, and I don't know why. Like, it's like, so like, take your position as like Behavior, the company, right? Like you're introducing paid Moris into the game. They're only in skins right now, but they're definitely introducing paid Moris at a certain point, right? Why would you intentionally introduce less Moris into your game? I mean, regardless of like you selling more Moris. Moris are cool, Moris are neat, and they're part of why people buy characters. So they're intentionally limiting how many Moris can take place a game. It's just really strange to me, and I don't know why they're doing that. Like, it's very interesting. Hopefully they walk that back. Keep the Cypress Mori at the end, though. That's neat. Finally, this wonderful summer, we are getting finally the very highly wanted, highly sought after 2v8 game mode, but not in the way that you think, because we only have 5 killers and 8 survivors to choose from. So just like the My Little Oni that came before it, it seems that like this mode, it's probably a lot more complicated, I would imagine, to have multiple killers in one match. They've not only limited it to not licensed killers, but they've also limited it to only 5 of the original killers. And it's I don't know why we're also like avoiding using all the original survivors as well, because survivors, I guess it has something to do with the class system, I suppose. But it's just like, it's gonna be cool, it's gonna be fun, and that first. But along the lines of like paid content and stuff like that, it feels like we're getting less and less value out of our paid content, because event after or modifier after modifier, mode after mode that comes out, it seems less and less like DLC friendly, and now it's even extending to like free DLC, or quote unquote free DLC, pay for access DLC. So I don't know, it just seems like it's just something that I'm kind of noticing as a trend that I'm kind of just like worried about. Hopefully that's, you know, because if we keep releasing extra game modes, I main a licensed character, I mean the Xenomorph, right? So like when it comes to that, I'm not gonna be able to play my main character in any of these new game modes, because it seems like licensed characters are being omitted from it. So I'm never gonna get to play that. In terms of my survivor, Jeff, who is my main, there's only 8 survivors to choose from here, so I'm not gonna get to play him. And if this continues as a trend, even having an original survivor main that I can't play is kind of weird. Hopefully this is a trend that does not continue. So we did get the roadmap, which is nothing too crazy. The big thing that I noticed is that we're getting a lot of licenses back to back, which is kind of crazy. We got obviously this was revealed, the August one was revealed as Castlevania. We get a licensed survivor in July, right after this D&D chapter, which is interesting. We get finally an original chapter in December, which has kind of been part of the course for Dead by Daylight, is, you know, releasing an original chapter in the winter. Except Chucky was last time. Chucky was November. Interesting. That was like the one break in that. Anyways, we are also getting a standalone new killer, but that's not till March license. So for those of you who are wanting like a FNAF character by itself, or a like Predator would be something I want, and we have to wait a really long time to see that. So luckily I got my my dream chapter already, but like if I did not have my dream chapter and all I see all the way over here is new killer next year, by the way, that'd be kind of dour. That is it, though. That is the TLDR of all the things that came through during the anniversary live stream and my feelings about them. Like I said, in terms of the D&D chapter, I will be spending more time in the PTB today live on stream to try and, you know, get more of a handle on how I feel about those characters and those perks and the new map and all that wonderful stuff. So I can give you a video on that either later today or like tomorrow. There's just so much that just came out in such a short period of time, so I'm gonna have to split it up. There's just the way it be. But I appreciate all your all's patience and hanging out with me today. What are you most excited about? What are you most worried about when it comes to all of the changes that are coming through that were announced during the anniversary stream? Let me know down in the comments below. But that's gonna be it for today's video, friends. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. But if I do not, I will see you when I see you. Goodbye.